Well, today at St. Anselm College in Manchester, young voters there took part in a roundtable with RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel and New Hampshire Republican Party Chair Chris Ager. They talked about how to reach out to teens and 20-somethings who will be voting for the first time tomorrow. And they say this New Hampshire primary has been quite the interesting experience for a first election.
Neil, wherever you're at, thank you so much for everything that you do.
I was involved in the 2020 primary cycle, and I kind of wish that was the first one I could vote in because there was a bit more going on, but it's still exciting to be able to vote nonetheless.
It's been an exciting one, definitely an unorthodox primary with the former president of the United States running.
And many of those young voters say they jumped into politics early as volunteers with campaigns, and we see that a lot with our colleges in New Hampshire and the students who might come from other states across the country, you two, come to New Hampshire for the very specific reason to get involved with politics. It's great to see.
Right. And the polls are opening early tomorrow, but our coverage starts even earlier. We'll have live team coverage starting all day long at 9 a.m. daybreak. That's at 5 a.m. News 9 daybreak. Let's try that again. At 5 a.m. That's what time we're starting, and then stay with us on air, on our website, on the WMUR app, and the streaming very local. Now, extended election night coverage begins at 8 p.m. tomorrow as we confirm all the returns around New Hampshire. And Adam, as we watch this thing, there's so many unknowns because it's been such an unusual primary so far.
Right, and we're going to talk about this more at 11 o'clock. The idea of the ultimate question being asked and answered tomorrow is the Republican Party ready to move on from Donald Trump? Clearly, there's a chunk of voters. They liked Chris Christie, they liked Ron DeSantis, they liked Nikki Haley, or like her. And there's obviously another chunk of voters that really like Donald Trump, and it looks like that is a majority, but we'll see. The big question mark, of course, in addition is, hey, you've got those undecided voters, the undeclared voters, who could really make a big difference in this one because they can flood into this primary and sway things, as we saw in 2000 with John McCain.
And the energy, too. Where is the energy going? Is the base of the Republican Party going to be the ones that charge out, presumably supporting the former President Donald Trump? Or is the energy going to be going towards, in Nikki Haley's message, that we need a new generation of conservative leaders?
Right, and I think when you look at the big picture here, it's a little bit more muted than usual. You know, sometimes we see these election eve final events. It's a big school gymnasium. You know, these events tonight, they were big, but they aren't on the epic scale that we've seen in some primaries past. Now, the reasons why for this could be any number, including people, you know, with COVID still not wanting to really gather in places anymore, although probably not a problem on the Republican side. But for whatever reason, this is just a little bit more muted than usual in this primary cycle. Maybe because we're down to two, maybe because Trump is controversial to some people, who knows? But it's not quite as big as it's been in the past.
Well, and to that end, we're just looking at live pictures from Dixville Notch. You know, about an hour from now, folks are going to be voting there, the 6 voters. You wonder, with the write-in effort happening, the DNC trying to change things, is this the last stand of the New Hampshire primary, or is it still fighting for its life and will continue in this method in the future? Yeah, and I think, you know, that everyone wants to move New Hampshire out one way or another, but the law is the law, right? And what we're seeing here is the power of that, the staying power of the cultural importance of the primary, that the national media still showed up. It's really, in terms of the health of the primary overall, what we've seen to this point, some positive indicators moving forward, but it's surely going to be a big fight with the DNC because they don't want to be proven wrong like New Hampshire's been doing these last few days.
Okay. Thank you both. And thank you for joining us here for this special News 9 primary special. We appreciate being here with us.
We are not going anywhere yet. We have another hour of coverage right after this.